To the world that's witnessing the brutality of my fellow Persian women, my heart bleeds. 43 years of torture, suffering, imposition, dictatorship, tyranny, and still ongoing. Wake up, world. Be her voice. Tomorrow it could be your sister, your wife, your mother, or even you. Don't let them do this. The Islamic Republic of Iran has brought us Persians to shame and deprived us of our roots and our freedom. This is not who we were. This is not who we are. To the world that's witnessing the brutality of my fellow Persian women, my heart bleeds. 43 years of torture, suffering, imposition, dictatorship, tyranny, and still ongoing. Wake up, world. Be her voice. Tomorrow it could be your sister, your wife, your mother, or even you. Don't let them do this. The Islamic Republic of Iran has brought us Persians to shame and deprived us of our roots and our freedom. This is not who we were. This is not who we are. We're not Iranians. We're Persians. Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old innocent soul beaten brutally to death for not following the norms of the hijab of the Islamic Republic of Iran by the so-called morality police. Whoever gave them that name, they don't know a thing about morals. Would really like to know how they would feel if their sisters, mothers, wives, or loved ones would have been beaten and tortured to death, just like the way they killed and tortured Mahsa Amini, and lied about her having a heart issue. How many innocent souls have you killed? You're going to kill. Get the fuck out of our country, you nasty parasites. You're not needed. You're not welcome. We don't want you. How much more of torture, tyranny, imposition, dictatorship are you going to continue giving us? Go away. We don't want you. Marg bar akhund kasif. Down with dictatorship. It's time for us to voice ourselves. Tell the world that we women need our freedom. To be respected, to be handled with care, not beaten, not tortured, not killed. We are Persian women. We are Persia. We're not the Islamic Republic of Iran. We are not Iran. Leave us alone. Get the fuck out of our country.
Namaskar, Adab, Sat Shri Akal. A very warm welcome, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Wherever you are, hope you're doing well, you're staying safe and staying healthy. And especially, I hope you're feeling safe. आज का ये टॉपिक, आज का ये सेशन is dedicated to Mahsa Amini, a fearless warrior who just went a little different, was a little different, did not do anything wrong as far as I'm concerned. Again, my personal judgment. I don't think she did anything wrong. But then, kya hua? She had to lose her own life. Why? What did she do? What crime did she do? And even if, big if, she did a crime, did she deserve such a death? And actually, should I even call it a death? Isn't this a cold-blooded murder of someone who just differently? Being an outsider मुझे नहीं पता कि ईरान में जिसके बड़े सारे नाम हैं, उसको उस जगह पर हाउ इज द लाइफ. आई कैन ओनली फील द पेन for those women, for those men, for the children, for everybody who cannot even breathe the free air. This has been one of the many incident stories that we've heard in the recent past that has shaken us all up. And even though I wanted to talk about it earlier, but due to some reasons, I could not. But this was always on top of my mind. कि इसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे, इसके बारे में हम एक्सप्रेस करेंगे, because there are a lot of people who directly or indirectly get impacted physically, mentally, spiritually, listening to such stories, reading about this. And we don't get to know the real story sometimes. जितना मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया में या सोशल मीडिया पे आ गई डिटेल्स उतना हम सुन लेते हैं. Partly we believe, partly we don't, and we move on with our life. So that's why I really wanted to do this, and I'm really blessed that I've always been able to find someone who can talk more in depth about it, in more in depth about the topic, the issue, and raise the voice. So today we have two special guests. The second guest definitely is someone who has been on the platform a couple of times, but this main guest, the first guest that we are talking about, she's a Persian by ethnicity. She was born in Tehran, so the so-called Islamic whatever of this the world. I really don't want to even talk about that. Uh, but she's been raised in India. She left Iran when she was very young. She's moved to different parts of the world. She's actually made even a name for herself in the Bollywood industry. Not that we're going to talk about that cabal on this call, on this session, but somebody who was a successful name both on mainstream as well as the small screen. She speaks multiple language. So tonight on this show itself, you might hear a couple of different languages. कुछ ऐसी languages शायद जो आपको मुझे शायद समझ भी ना आए, but जो समझ आएगा, that is the emotion, the raw emotion in that language. She's done multiple serials, multiple movies. She's been in some kind of controversies herself as well. But today it's not about her. Today it's not about her controversies. Today it's not about her journey. Today it's all about Mahsa Amini, the girl from that part of the world where even Kainaaz Pervez is from. She's going to talk us a little bit about the real story, the real suffering, the real pain that everyone has to go through if they're part of that particular world. She has her own story as well. She's been a victim. Not that she's playing a victim card, but when you listen to her story, her side of story, you will see, you will realize what anybody has to go through just to be a citizen of that part of the world. She's doing some amazing work in UK right now, and that's where she is based out of right now. And I'm really honored, my privilege that I was able to speak to her, and thanks to Shalini actually, who was able to get me connected with her. So thanks, Shalini. If you are watching and listening, I would love you to join as well, if possible. But without wasting any more time, without mincing any more words, I'm gonna have Kenaz on the screen with me as we kick off this discussion, which primarily will be me, you, all of us listening to the real story of Mahsa Amini. Hello, Kenaz, and welcome to this platform.
Hi, Varun, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to voice myself on behalf of all the Persian women and all the women out there, all the other women out there. And also, I'd like to congratulate you on reaching over 100K subscribers. Hats off to you. Congratulations. You have been the voice of many. You have been very active. And I remember from the Sushant Singh Rajput time and now. But today,
as you said very correctly, it's about Mahsa Amini, and it's about those women who do not have the right to voice themselves. Before I continue what I'm going to say, I would like to say a few words in Hindi and Farsi so that I can spread the word a bit more, and whoever knows these languages can understand it otherwise. So, because I don't know if we have anyone on the platform who are just Persian speaking or just Hindi speaking, but it's just a short message that I would like to give people before I continue.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
I will start off with Hindi, since that's the country I've been raised. And I'd like to say, एक ईरानी औरत होने के नाते मैं अपनी आवाज उन सभी ईरानी औरतों को जो आज जिंदगी और मौत के बीच लड़ रहे हैं और इन बेरहम आयतुल्लाह के जुल्म और सितम से सह रहे हैं, मैं पहुंचाना चाहती हूँ अपनी आवाज। और दुनिया को इनकी ये जो जुल्म है उन्हें बताना चाहती हूँ, उनकी असलियत दिखाना चाहती हूँ। जो 33 साल हम औरतों पर जुल्म करते रहे हैं और अब भी कर रहे हैं, और ये कि वो अपने आप को ऐसे दिखा रहे हैं कि वो बहुत अच्छे और काबिल रजीम हैं, और पिछले 33 सालों से हम अपनी आवाज, अपनी आजादी और यहाँ तक कि अपनी होशो हवास खो बैठे हैं। ये सरकार हमें दबाते रहे, मारते रहे, जुल्म करते रहे, और हम कुछ नहीं कर सके, क्योंकि अगर कुछ करने की कोशिश की तो हमारी आवाज को हमेशा हमेशा के लिए चुप कर देते। जैसे महसा अमीनी, एक 22 साल की लड़की, उन्होंने उसकी जान ली। क्यों? क्योंकि वो अपनी मर्जी से जीना चाहती थी, जी नहीं सकती थी अपनी मर्जी से, और उसे हिजाब पहनने पर जबरदस्ती की गई थी। वो हिजाब नहीं पहनना चाहती थी, लेकिन उसके साथ जबरदस्ती किया गया, उसे मार दिया गया। और मैं फिर से ये रिपीट करती हूँ, उसे मार दिया गया और ऐसे दिखाया कि उसे दिल का दौरा पड़ गया। लेकिन आज उन सारी ईरानी औरतों से कहती हूँ कि अपनी आवाज उठाओ और अपने हक के लिए लड़ो, क्योंकि जब तक ये दरिंदे हमारे देश में कीड़े मकोड़े की तरफ पलेंगे ना, हम औरतों की जान खतरे में है, और रोज हजारों औरतों की जान चली जाएगी, हजारों औरतों का बलात्कार होगा। मैं हर उस औरत से विनती करती हूँ कि हम ईरानी औरतों की आवाज बने, ताकि इन गंदे आयतुल्लाज और ये बेइंसाफ सरकार से हमें छुटकारा मिले। This was my message in Hindi and of course Urdu. I'd like to also say it in Farsi as well before I move ahead. درود بر هموطنان عزیزم، هموطنان عزیزم و سرزمین من. هموطنان عزیز، سرزمین ما رو تبدیل به جهنم کردن این آخوندهای کثیف و نکبت. من به عنوان یک زن ایرانی فریادتون رو میشنوم و حس میکنم. 43 سال ما زیر سلطه این آخوندهای کثیف بودیم. دیگه وقتشه اینا رو از سرزمینمون بندازیم بیرون. من هم صدای شما هستم و هم صدای مهسا امینی هستم. من مهسا امینی هستم. مرگ بر آخوند کثیف، مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی ایران و مرگ بر دیکتاتور. That was a message that I wanted to say, and I hope the world listens to it. And you know, Varun, as an Iranian, as a Persian, I would say, I'd like to ask the Islamic regime a question. You know, they claim to be the Islamic Republic, but as this resolution has made it very clear, it's one of the world's most oppressive regime. So I have a question for these mullahs. in Tehran and in Iran, of course, in the whole of Iran, if you represent a God that is good, merciful, powerful, then why do you need to repress, torture, and murder your people? Why? So, hey, guess what? Your regime is a blasphemy and a disgrace to every decent Muslim, every person of faith, and every person of conscience. You know, you are using religion as a weapon to destroy the innocent. You brought our country to such a desperate phase that now you're even signing agreements with China, yet another disgraceful, merciless country where they brought COVID and killed millions of people. You're giving away your energy sector to them. I mean, what kind of a regime are you? You killed the likes of Mahsa Amini, but you know, Mahsa Amini could be your daughter. It could be that Mahsa Amini could be your daughter. It could be your wife, your sister, your mother. How can you even be such tyrants, be such hypocrites? You know, I'll give you an example. You know, Ayatollah Ahmad Iravani, who is a so-called philosopher and an advocate in the interfaith peace dialogue, who works for the regime, for this regime of the Islamic Republic of Iran. His daughters move around in skimpy clothes and live lavishly outside Iran. This is the same man who is working and is a part of the regime. Double standards, huh? Hypocrites. Just, how do you justify that, Varun? How do you justify that? You know, the Islamic Republic of Iran has a lot to answer to the people of Iran. You know, there's a young boy, that very talented singer. His name is Shervin Hajipur. He sung a song, it was like a rap kind of a thing. Very talented boy, you know. Probably he must be in his 20s or so. Because he spoke the truth, and every word, when I say every word that he said was actually the truth about these mullahs and the regime, they just arrested him. His song went over, I think, 30 million in a week or 10 days.
Wow.
It was like all over the world, not just Iran, but all over the world. And they arrested him because he spoke the truth. He exposed them. And trust me, I'm telling you this, Varun, when I say this, trust me, they will silence him forever. And they'll kill him, just like they killed Mahsa Amini, and they killed so many other innocent lives out there. Why? Because they don't want the truth to come out. And then what they will do is they will literally hide it and tell the world, oh, they died a natural death, they met with an accident. Just like there is another one, I'll give you another example, Hadith Najafi. She's another 22-year-old TikToker.
Okay.
Just last night, I think it was, or yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, they shot her in the neck, in the face, and in the chest. A 22-year-old TikToker. And you know what they told, it was with a shotgun. You know what they told the parents, actually I would say, forced the parents to tell the world that she died of a natural death, or she met with a car accident, or she died of a brain injury. Just like how they did to Mahsa Amini. She was taken into a van, beaten brutally. God knows what they did to her. And when she came out and went into, there is a place where they take you in and they question you. It's like a sort of a jail. I don't know what to call it, a torture prison, or whatever you call it. She collapsed and she died right there and then. And there is a live video of it, and people say she died of a heart attack. You see how these tyrants actually portray themselves as the good and portray us as the bad ones. You know, just like Mahsa Amini, more than 76 people have died. And believe me, when they say 76 people, it's not the correct number. I'm sure there are so many more out there, so many more out there. I have relatives in Iran where they keep telling me that how many innocent lives are being killed every single day, tortured to death. They break into their house. They give themselves the right to break into your house, beat you, and shoot you with no remorse whatsoever. And now, the government just announced last night that if celebrities and athletes take part in the protest and go against the government, they will be dealt with. We don't have a voice. We cannot be who we are. You know, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Ayatollahs, so named, from the Khomeini time, which in 1979, he came into our country and destroyed the country, literally destroyed the country. And he made, which I will come to later on, that I would say by far, we've got the biggest cemetery called the Behisht-e-Zahra, which is actually hell. From children right up to old men and women have been brutally killed in the war, the longest war ever. He actually says that the reason for these protests and the reason for all of this is our enemies, which are Americans, Israelis, UK, the United Kingdom. Hey, why are you playing the blame game? And they call them the shaitan, the Satan, as they call it in Farsi. In Urdu, we call it shaitan. They're not the shaitans, you are. Where is the connection of the Americans and Israelis and United Kingdom when you are the ones who are brutally killing your own people? And they always have done this. They've always done the blame game. You know, Ayatollah Khomeini, when he came into the country in 1979, he used to give these youngsters as old as 9 years old. When I say 9, I'm saying this, like 9 years old, Varun. The boy does not even, it's time for him to play. It's time for him to have fun, to go and play with his friends, to see the world and have his childhood. He would tell them to go into the war zone and into the battlefield, and he would give them these plastic keys and say, this is your key to heaven. He would brainwash them and say, this is your key to heaven. Go out there and fight, and you will go to heaven. And their own parents would encourage their children. And today, those same people who wear this black chador, which I call them the scarecrows and the black crows, no insult to the crows. Crows are any day better. They're birds. I have respect for them. But that's what they look like, actually. They literally look like scarecrows. Those mothers and fathers who wear these turbans and ayatollahs, they go around beating the young girls and women today when they have like a strand of their hair out, saying, we've given martyrs, we've given shaheeds. You didn't give it. You made them do it. It was from your own wish and will, because you wanted to destroy Persia. You wanted to take our freedom, and that's why you did what you did. There was a video that I was watching, Varun, and it was devastating when I watched it. This girl, because she was protesting, and she had her scarf and she removed it purposely in front of one of these mullahs and ayatollahs, and she just literally removed it. He literally barged at her and beat her and said, we give martyrs, we give shaheeds. Who gives you the right? What if your own daughter was beaten up like that? What would you do then? Would you allow anyone to touch your daughter like that? That's what hypocrites, that's how big of hypocrites they are. You know, just last night, a friend of a friend, he just texted me and he said, please, if you can voice for this friend of ours, his father, his name is Dr. Muhammad Sadiq Akhundi. He's a lecturer at Tehran University. and he's an orthodontist. Imagine someone at that level, okay? He signed a petition along with 150 other doctors against this regime. Last night, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they barged into his house, arrested him with no further notice, took him in. He could be the next one killed. And nobody would know. Nobody would even know that he's killed. They'll just silence him and say, yet another incident, natural death and heart attack and blah, 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 because he also has an age. So probably they will tag heart attack to him or a brain stroke to him, whatever God knows.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum, Arif bhai. I can see Arif bhai is here.
Yes. So I just wanted to take this opportunity. Sorry to get him, but
Don't worry about it.
I mean, sorry to kind of cut you short. But he was here. और आरिफ भाई ने हमें बताया था थोड़ी देर पहले. He is already doing what he is known for. He is raising his voice for another issue. और वहाँ पर है. He is in a situation where there are some strikes going on. फिर भी ये हमारे साथ मुझे एक सेकंड के तो मेरा खुद को ही लग रहा था इनको कह दूं कि ना ज्वाइन करें, but Arif bhai being Arif bhai, and love and respect that I have for him, and the same thing he has for all of us. He's here with us on this session. थोड़ी देर के लिए obviously I'll keep him here because I know it is not easy what he's doing and where he is. But Arif bhai, पहले तो welcome and Jai Shri Ram and Namaste. And जो topic है आप please उसके बारे में भी जरूर बताएं. But thank you for joining.
Namaste, Varun bhai. Hello, Kainaaz. I'm sorry, I'm not in a good position. I'm in a bus because today we have a train strike in London, and today we have a Chinese protest. Uyghur Muslims, Tibetans, and Hong Kong people are doing protest, and I was committed to attend this protest, but because of train strike, I am still on my way, and the protest has started before 1 hour. So now I am heading towards Chinese embassy to attend the protest. What is happening in Iran, it disturbs everyone because freedom of faith, freedom of speech is the basic human right. And that's what we are seeing, that it's not allowed in Iran, especially women are subjugated, but women are subjugated in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in all Muslim societies. And that's what we see always, and it hurts us because after all we are given birth by a woman, and woman is our mother, our sister, our wife, who serves our lives, gives us beautiful children and our daughters, and still we don't respect this great human being, a woman. I always stand with Iranian people. Day before yesterday on Piccadilly Circus in London, I came for another protest, and I saw Iranian people doing protest here, and I joined them because I am a human rights activist, and I stand for all human rights. And Iran, when we see before 1979, what a beautiful society, what a developed country. And now this Islamization of the society has brought this beautiful country, this historic country, to a destructive society. But I hope that Iranian people have raised their voices, and soon, hopefully, we will see a free Iran for every human being, especially women. And women are taking hijab, not hijab. It is their own choice. And nobody is here to dictate them that who should wear what. A modest dressing is okay, but selection of dresses for a woman is not a man's job. She should be free to decide and put on anything she wants. And this is, as a human rights activist, I have always stood for. And my heart bleeds when I see the situation of Iran. I'm from Pakistan, and I see this is happening. My society in Pakistan is also Talibanized, and we are our women are also forced to wear hijab. For example, in my childhood, when I was in Karachi, I never saw a burqa or a hijab or long beards and anything. But since 1979, the world took a big change when Afghanistan was invaded, and then a game of Talibanization, jihadism, and all this began. And then Iran, the so-called revolution of Iran, changed everything in the region. And today, it is really a sad thing that this region, which was very progressive, very liberal, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkey, today all these are Islamized and radicalized. So that hurts. And I'm still with you, Varun bhai. Over to you.
थैंक यू आरिफ भाई. ऑब्वियसली ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक था जिसके लिए नॉट जस्ट बीइंग अ सोशल एक्टिविस्ट, एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग वी हैव सीन किस तरह से आपने और इतने सारे टॉपिक्स के बारे में अपनी आवाज उठाई है. यू पुट योरसेल्फ एट रिस्क. आप हमेशा अपने आप को इतने रिस्क में डालते हैं. यू हैव रेज्ड योर वॉइस. मैंने तो वो वीडियोस भी देखे हैं जहां पर यू आर इन द फेस ऑफ दीज radicals who are ready to even literally rip you apart, but आप डरते नहीं हैं और आप हमेशा खड़े होते हैं. So इसलिए when I wanted to talk about this, and when I was able to get in touch with Kainaaz ji, it was very evident that your voice would also add or amplify the concern we have. And Kainaaz, to your point, not only are we talking about Mahsa Amini, not only are we talking about other such women, you yourself have a personal first-hand experience around that as well.
Varun bhai, I would just disturb you. Just want to show you hundreds of people protesting here live now. Hundreds of people are protesting in front of Chinese embassy. They are from Uyghur community. They are from Tibet, Hong Kong, and they are asking for rights also. So this is happening here, and everyone is asking for their own rights. I just wanted to show you this.
Thank you, Arif bhai. Bilkul, I think this is also very, very important to see, guys. Ke when it comes to some of these things, some of these issues, or especially human rights, आज की डेट में everybody has come out. They're standing together, raising their voice, and we really need people like Kainaaz, like Arif bhai, like many more who are putting themselves at risk to speak about it.
I was in Geneva for United Nations Human Rights consultation last week, and there also Iranian people had a massive protest there. And yes, everywhere we are raising our voice, and we hope that there will be a rational society everywhere. That's what we can hope for.
Varun, I'd like to just say something from what Arif bhai said. We Iranian, I would say, I keep saying we're Persians and not Iranian, but Iranian people, they are not fighting against Islam. They're fighting against oppression. They're fighting they're fighting for their rights. They are not saying that we're against Islam or we're against Muslims or against any religion. They're fighting for their rights. So many of these women have literally been killed, raped, beaten, lashed. So, my body, my choice. I can wear what I want to wear. आप कौन होते हैं मुझ पर धोस जमाने के लिए कि अगर आपने ये नहीं पहना और अगर आपने हिजाब नहीं पहना तो मैं तुम्हें 74 lashes, believe me when I say this, guys, 74 lashes if you do not wear the hijab. And when I say do not wear the hijab, because even if you have a strand of your hair coming out, if you're wearing nail polish, if your ankle shows, if you don't have long sleeves, if that manto, there's something called as a manto that we wear, it's a kind of a sort of a hijab thing that you wear. If it is short, if the buttons are colorful, if it is not dull, you get 74 lashes. Imagine, just for one, imagine that one whip You're just hitting once, just one whip you're hitting. How much does that hurt? Imagine 74 and on a female. That's the same one. Arif bhai ने बहुत अच्छा कहा, बहुत सही कहा. जैसे मैं भी उसको अटेस्ट करती हूँ. ये वही औरत है जिसने तुम्हें जन्म दिया है. उसकी इज्जत नहीं करते हो. You're literally insulting that same female gender who gave birth to you. How can you insult that woman? Where is your conscience? Where is literally your conscience? You're that same man who a female gender has 9 months. She has had that you in her womb, with all the morning sicknesses, with all the problems that she goes through, whether when she gives birth to you, she's going to be alive or not, or whether you're going to be alive or not. And with all, in spite of all of that, in today's day and age, she has to also work and bring money into the house, because nowadays, as with all this inflation and everything, she works at the same time. All of this she does, but because you are this male-dominant Islamic so-called man, you have the right to go and marry another woman. And I'll tell you this, there's something called as the sighe. This is what they call in Iran. It's called sighe. The Islamic Republic of Iran has named something, these ayatollahs have named it, which is a temporary marriage from 1 day to 99 years. They say something, and then she becomes your temporary wife. Why? Because your own wife, legal wife, is pregnant. She cannot, I'm using this very openly, she cannot have sex with you. She cannot share your bed. She cannot make you feel good. You go to another woman because you are desperate, because you think you have the right to go to any other woman because you're a man. Who gave you that right to do what you're doing? I mean, just because I'm a woman, I can be treated like a sex object. I can be treated like a baby making machine. I have to literally just make you good in every manner, cook for you, take care of your parents, listen to everything you say. And when I'm in my own house, if a man, a friend of yours comes into the house, I have to wear the hijab, otherwise I will be beaten brutally. Why? Then why did God make this? Did God make this for us to literally be like that and not show? And God would have made us with hijab, right? Wouldn't God make us with hijab then? God created us like that. Adam and Eve were created naked. God didn't put hijab on Eve. I mean, what are you people trying to prove to the world? How much position? For me, I was a victim. I don't want to go into the details of it, but I was a victim myself.
We're gonna talk about that part as well. But I think Arif wanted to say something.
Not against any religion. It is against the radicalization that we see. Freedom of religion, freedom of belief, freedom of faith is right of everybody. That's what I say. If you are Muslim, you are praying, have any problem. And Varun bhai, I would now seek apologies. I have to join this protest for which I have traveled.
Bilkul. Absolutely. Thank you, Arif bhai. Jaldi karenge dobara baat. All right.
Bye,
Thank you so much.
Kainaaz, and all the best.
Bye, Arif. Bye. All the best to you. Stay safe.
Oh, I know.
I'm going through this whole thing, but believe me, Varun, my heart bleeds. My heart aches when I say things like that. Can you believe it? In Iran, in the Islamic Republic of Iran, a woman does not have right. Do you know she cannot get a passport if she doesn't have the permission of her father when she's single, and then the permission of her husband if she is married? She cannot get a passport. She cannot travel. She cannot get a passport, so obviously she cannot travel. A woman in Iran cannot get a divorce if the man does not give the divorce. You can be there for years and years and years to come. You cannot get married. You cannot get a divorce. Why? Why? A woman cannot take custody of her own child, even if the man is a criminal. If a man is a drug addict, and if a man cannot support his children, still the child goes into his custody. And when the child is 7 years old, automatically the child goes into the father's custody.
Wow.
Those are the kind of rules the Ayatollahs have in our country. Our country was not like that. Persia was a beautiful country. It is a beautiful country still. The people were good and are good. It's the regime. It's the regime that has destroyed it. Our country is a beautiful country. We people are very peaceful. We are supposed to be the most hospitable people, one of the most hospitable people in the world. We love our guests. We take care of them. We love them. We open our houses to them. And look where we're today. We are tagged as the terrorists. Why? The Iranian passport was one of the most powerful passports in the world. The likes of America, the United Kingdom, Europe, everywhere around the world, we traveled without a visa. We were welcomed into that country. Today, the passport is of no value. We've got the worst passport in the world. Why? Because of some sick mullah Ayatollah who has created this dirty regime and has destroyed and suppressed people like us. We are not bad. Iranian people are not bad. It's the regime. Look at the youngsters today. Look how they're being treated. We don't have anything called as a club or a lounge or even a restaurant where people can go and sit together. If a boy and a girl sit in a restaurant together, Varun, the so-called Gasht Irshad, which they call the so-called morality police, will come and arrest you, take you in, tell you to forcefully get married. Otherwise, you get 99 lashes. And they call the parents, force the parents, and say, you have to get your children married right now. And then sign an oath that you will never do this again. Where in the world have you seen this? Arif bhai bol rahe the ki Pakistan mein, Afghanistan mein ye sab chal raha tha 1979 se logon ne hijab ka ye kiya wo kiya. Believe me, it is not as bad as Iran. वहां फिर भी वो लोग अपनी आवाज उठा सकते हैं. वहां अगर कोई आप रास्ते में जाएंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं कि सब हर कोई हिजाब में होने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. जिसे चाहे वो हिजाब में होगा, जिसे नहीं चाहे वो हिजाब में नहीं होगा. They walk around without hijab. लेकिन हमारे देश में अगर आपने हिजाब नहीं पहना, so you have 74 lashes and you will be treated like worse than an animal. ये कहाँ का इंसाफ है? In which country? I've been to the UAE, I've been to Pakistan, I've been to Malaysia. These are Muslim countries. They follow Islam. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen them do something like that? I've been to those countries. I've lived there. I was in Pakistan for a month and a half. I was in Karachi. Never saw something like that. They are a very, very sure-shot Muslim country, Islamic country. I've never seen them treat women like that. Women don't have to wear hijab. If they want to, they will. If they don't have to. Just like Malaysia, UAE. You have nightclubs, you have restaurants, you have people, they can drink alcohol. I mean, I'm not trying to promote alcohol here. I'm not for it. But I'm just saying that everyone to his own. Today, it's about Mahsa Amini and the likes of Mahsa Amini who are being forced to wear hijab when they don't need to wear that hijab. You cannot force somebody to wear a hijab when they don't want to wear a hijab. As I was saying, I have been a victim of these dirty ayatollahs as well. Today, I've not been able to see, 3 years ago, I lost my mother, and I wasn't even there for her. I wasn't there by her side when she died. She was in Iran. She went there because we had to sell property. My father was a political activist when he was alive, and he was dead against the regime. Excuse me. So he could not go to Iran. My mom had to go. When she went there, they wouldn't let her come back, get out of the country. She suffered so much in that country that, and she couldn't get out because they called something called as mamnoon khuruj, means they don't allow you to get out of the country. They will take your passport, they will put it on the system that you're not allowed to travel outside the country. My mother kept saying, I will die and I will not see you. And that's exactly what happened. I blame these dirty ayatollahs. I could not be by my mother's side when she died. How brutal, how merciless can you people be? We cannot be with our own family. I'm an actress by profession. I was born into a Muslim community, as we say, and from the roots of Muslim. But I, with all due respect, I respect every religion, but I'm not a practicing Muslim. I was raised in a Seventh-day Adventist community, a Christian community. And then I went on, when I became older, I wanted to take up Hinduism and spirituality because that was something that I really related to. And today I'm a practicing Hindu and a spiritual person. Do you know that if I stepped into that country with no questions asked, I would be executed right there and then at the airport with no questions asked? Why? Because I don't have the right to my religion. I cannot follow or practice a religion I want. I'm an actress by profession, and for me, I'm a disgust to them. I'm a disgrace to them. I'm ashamed to them. Instead of them being proud of someone who is a Persian, who went into the Bollywood industry and made a name for herself. Instead of being proud, I speak four Indian languages other than English and Farsi. And instead of being proud of me, you call me names? You torture me and you destroy my eye? You call me a shame to the society? You kill my mother. You don't let her meet me. I cannot be by her side. I mean, what kind of a regime is this? Anyways, it's not about me. It's not about me. It is about Mahsa Amini. This was just an example for me to say how merciless this regime is.
I'll interject here. When you say it's not about me, it is about you, Kainaaz. You also represent those women, those people who have been wronged, who continuously are being wronged. The difference is you're still alive. You can talk. You can speak for yourself. You can speak for them. If people don't let people like you talk, speak, express, share the pain, then you could be, unfortunately, I have to say this, but you could be the next Mahsa Amini. And then where will I or anybody go to hear, what's been happening? So when you're talking about your person, and I first of all, I apologize. I really feel, how bad of a mindset it would bring on anyone losing a mother or losing a parent and not being able to see them. It is really very, very, very difficult. So more love, more positive vibes to you. But this is the reason why we wanted to talk. This is the reason why we wanted to do this, because I don't want tomorrow, I do a session where I say the Kainaaz Pervez story. No, I don't want to do that. Because you are live, you are talking, and you can bring those facts out in front of people so they know, they realize, when shuruat mein, at the beginning of the session, I said, we all go to these social media sites, to these news channels, which sometimes, or, let me just put it, point blank, they're all kind of, have those different filters. Some have the religious filter, some have the economic filter, some whatever, they want to filter out, and they don't let the real story out. So this is why we are doing this, because we want the real story, the real facts to be shared here. so that we poke people. I want people to be poked. I do some kind of similar things on the Sushant Singh Rajput movement, and I want to do it for all the different movements that are happening around us. We need to be able to poke people. We need, I'm sitting in the comfort of my room, my home. Um, I read couple of things, stories right here and there. I read some WhatsApp messages, and that's it. End of story. Move on. But what are we actually doing? Nothing. So, hats off to you for having this courage, for having this grit to come out and speak, share even your personal stories. And this comment I was highlighting, it's very true. I also saw that a man who was dancing at his daughter's burial. This man was dancing because he had promised his young daughter that no matter what, I will come to your marriage, wherever wedding will happen, I will dance on your wedding. And look at the irony.
Imagine how many of these young girls have died and how many of these fathers and mothers have wept and we got no justice. No justice whatsoever, Varun. I mean, people like us, yes, as you said, we're sitting in the comfort zone of our house, but some way or the other, me as a Persian, as an Iranian woman, still have so much inside me that I don't know where to go and vent, what to do. I got into depression. I got panic attacks and anxiety. I was in a state of shock for 6 months. I couldn't speak to people. I can't go to my own country because I'm an alien in my own country. They will execute me. So yes, it's about all us Persian women out there. And it's time, but in 43 years, enough is enough. It's time for us to voice ourselves and literally get these mullahs out of our country, because they're nothing but a disgrace. Nothing but a disgrace. If you see a movie called The Stoning of Soraya M, you must watch that movie. That is the actual truth of the Ayatollahs. They bring women, they bring girls, they rape them, they sexually assault them, and then they make it as the name of, it is a sighe, we are legally married to them. A child? Where is your morals? Where is your conscience? How can you do this to people? And then you sit there and say, if anyone goes against the regime, we will deal with them. You have to see how Mahsa Amini's mother was at the grave crying. She couldn't cry anymore. She was literally gone. Hadith, look at Hadith Najafpur. She was literally, her mother was completely gone. She couldn't speak. How many of these girls have been brutally killed? Even men cannot voice themselves in Iran. Even boys cannot. Look, as I told you about Shervin. He was arrested for voicing himself. They have insulted and questioned us Iranians. They really have. Believe me when I say this. We are very peaceful people. We have a civilization. We have a culture that goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. We are the Kurosh the Great. We are Cyrus the Great. We are not this Islamic Republic of Iran. We're not. I'm saying this to my Persian friends. Ma Kurosh Kabirin. Ma Cyrus Kabirin. Cyrus Bozorgin. Ma Jumhuri Islami Iran nistim. مرگ بر این جمهوری اسلامی ایران نسلشون رو خدا برداره. I'm sorry I have to say this to my Farsi Persian people, for which I'm translating and saying, down with these mullahs, for we're not Islamic Republic of Iran. We're Cyrus the Great and we are Kurosh the Great. I'm just translating that for you. You know, when a woman walks on the streets of Iran, when she goes to work, she goes to visit someone or whatever she does, goes shopping for that matter, she doesn't know whether she's going to come back home safe or even come back home for that matter. Because these vans, they're called the Gashta Irshad, the so-called morality police that killed Mahsa Amini and Hadith and so many others, they stand there like parasites. They will stand there, and guess what? This is the message that they've given the world. That God Almighty has given us a message that we are supposed to deal with the women and kill them if they do not wear the hijab. I mean, who the hell gave you that message? Where did God come from and give you that message? You think we're fools? Are you dealing with morons? Who are you dealing with? What guts do you people have to even say something like that? And they stand there, they catch these women, they push them into the van, beat them brutally. Why? Because they choose not to wear the hijab. And believe me, this when I'm saying not to wear the hijab, it's just if a strand of hair is out, or if you're wearing makeup, or if you're wearing nail polish. I have no words to describe how merciless and tyrants these people are. They have no remorse, no conscience, nothing at all. All they can do is rape women, suppress them, beat them, treat them like animals, and treat them like sex objects and baby-making machines. Do you know a woman in Iran has no right to become a president or vote? My mother was a PhD in political science, a very well-educated woman. When she was in Iran, she couldn't practice what she had studied all these years. Because what they would have done is they would have put her in, just like they did so many other women. She would have been in jail and she would have been tortured. My mom, even at that age, she was ill-treated by these people, ruthless people. When she went to get her passport, they denied her of it. And they treated her so bad. Why? Because my father was a political activist and was against the regime, so she had to bear all that consequence and pain for him. I mean,
And I'm going through all these messages in the chat as well. Two messages I just want to flash again. I did flash them because, of course, I cannot understand. So maybe if you can read and tell us what is.
I unfortunately cannot read and write Farsi. I can only speak it because I wasn't raised in the country. So unfortunately, I cannot read it. But if we have someone who can, if anybody who's watching, okay, it says, I feel your pain. We're all going through the same cell. Thank you very much, Taraneh Sultani. ممنون از لطفتون عزیز دل من. امیدوارم که ما از این آخوندهای کثیف راحت شیم و آزادیمون رو بگیریم و ما زنا بتونیم همینجور که مردا میتونن آزادیشون رو داشته باشن ما هم داشته باشیم. شما هم نمیدونم کجای دنیا هستید ولی امیدوارم که ماها زنا بتونیم واقعا آزادیمون رو بگیریم. Sorry.
Sure, no, absolutely. I think these messages are also very important, Kainaaz. Like I said at the very beginning as well, it's not about in what language you're talking. As an Indian, as somebody who only understands either English or Hindi or partly a little bit of Urdu or Punjabi, I can still understand the emotions that you're sharing here. So it's more about that. I see someone join. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna take you. I think I know. Hello,
ma'am. मैं ज्योति मैम मुझे इंग्लिश इतनी अच्छी नहीं आती है मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगी मैम आपने जो बोला है बहुत सही बोला है मैम। यहाँ पे क्या है ना, हमारे इधर ये लोग समझने की कोशिश नहीं करते। आप देखो अभी ईरान में इतना कुछ हो रहा है मैम, लेकिन यहाँ भारत में एक भी वुमेन नहीं है जो खड़े हो रही है इसके लिए। ना इतने बड़े बड़े जो सेलिब्रिटी बने फिर रहे हैं ये, जो हर चीज में झंडा लेके खड़े हो जाते हैं। जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे कुछ भी होता है इनके लिए, कोई भी चीज यदि हम लागू करना चाहते हैं ना मैम, ये लोग खड़े हो जाते हैं। और आज यहाँ लड़कियों को मारा जा रहा है लेकिन एक भी खड़े नहीं हो रहा। ये क्या है? अपने आप को इतना वो बताते हैं ये लोग कि हम तो लड़कियों के लिए खड़े रहते हैं, लड़कियां ये लड़कियां वो। और जब लड़कियां यहाँ पे, इनको इतना बुरा हो रहा है इनके साथ, लेकिन एक भी नहीं खड़ा हो रहा है,
ये
एक
बहुत
भी नहीं।
बुरी बात है। और आपने सही कहा। श्रुति आपका नाम है, राइट?
ज्योति।
ज्योति। ज्योति,
यस
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आप इस मंच पर आए और आपने ये बात कही। आप बहुत सही कह रहे हैं। और मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि लोग, ये सेलिब्रिटीज जो है, आज के वक्त पे जो हम लोग इस चीज से गुजर रहे हैं, वो भी हमारी आवाज बने और वो भी हमारे लिए लड़े। आई होप दैट हैपेंस। लेकिन मैं तो अपनी तरफ से जितना हो सके लड़ूंगी। मैं सिर्फ इतना कर सकती हूँ कि सोशल मीडिया पे, जो कि बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग मंच है, मैं इस पे अपनी आवाज उठाऊंगी। इतना ही मैं कर सकती हूँ। एंड मैं वो सारी
यस,
सेलिब्रिटीज अपनी तरफ से बोलती हूँ,
लोग
प्लीज
खड़े नहीं हो रहे हैं ना मैम, यही बात है। Yes, ma'am। बाकी लोग
जी।
आप लोगों के साथ खड़े नहीं हो रहे हैं ना मैम। बात तो ये हो रही है ना, यहाँ पे बोलना बहुत आसान होता है कि हम आपके साथ हैं, हम आपके साथ हैं। जब वहां पे इतने सारे प्रोटेस्ट हो रहे हैं, आप देखो 2 मिनट के लोग बोल रहे हैं कि हाँ यार ईरान इनके साथ गलत हो रहा है, ऐसा हो रहा है, वैसा हो रहा है, लेकिन कोई इतना स्ट्रांगली नहीं बोल पा रहा है ना।
जी।
वो लड़कियों के साथ इतना ज्यादा हो रहा है। और मैम आज का एक हमारे इधर का इंसिडेंट है, आज इंदौर में हुआ है। जो एक वुमेन है, शी प्रेग्नेंट, और उसके साथ मैम 5 बॉयज हैज रेप्ड। आज आज का ही है। आज मतलब ये सब मुस्लिम्स थे मैम, और उन्होंने क्या बोला है कि हमें जन्नत मिलती है हिंदूज के साथ ऐसा करने में। आज का ही केस है मैम, सोचिए। और वो प्रेग्नेंट लड़की थी मैम। आज ही का केस है ये।
आई एम सो सॉरी टू हियर दैट। एंड मैं नहीं जानती कि ये लोग क्या सोच के ये सब बोलते हैं और ये सब करते हैं। लेकिन मैं सिर्फ इतना कह सकती हूँ कि हम औरतों को ये समझना चाहिए कि हमें अपने आजादी के लिए लड़ना है और हमें यूनाइट होना है। ये नहीं कि आप, जैसे आपने कहा, वहां बैठे हैं तो कहते हैं ओ इट्स सैड दिस हैपेंड टू ईरान। कम एंड बी आवर वॉइस, हमारे लिए लड़िए। एंड
यस
आई
मैम।
होप पीपल आर मोर लाइक यू। आप जैसे लोग और आए इस मंच पे और पूरी दुनिया में, और अपनी आवाज उठाए और हमारा साथ दे, ताकि हम
यस मैम, आप
जिन्नत से
जैसे अच्छे लोग, जी मैम, आप जैसे अच्छे लोग इन लोगों की वजह से फंस रहे हैं, क्योंकि जो अच्छा है ना वो भी इनकी वजह से बदनाम हो रहा है मैम। जो लोग
जी।
अच्छे, आप जैसे अच्छे हो, कई मैन बहुत अच्छे हैं, तो वो लोग भी इनकी वजह से, लोग उनको भी अलग नजर से देख रहे हैं कि यार ये भी ऐसे ही होंगे, वो भी ऐसे अच्छे लोग तो इसमें पिस रहे हैं मैम। बात तो वही है। जी
Very
मैम,
true.
आप बाकी लोगों को भी देते। मैम आप बहुत अच्छे हो, आपने जो भी बोला बहुत सही बोला, और आपके पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बहुत क्लियर है।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
और मैम
बहुत
आपके
बहुत शुक्रिया।
जो हुआ बहुत दुख है, लेकिन आप इतनी पावरफुल वुमेन हो कि आप सब चीज से फाइट कर सकती हो। थैंक यू फॉर
बहुत बहुत
ज्वाइनिंग
शुक्रिया आपका।
सर, मैम आप बहुत सही हो।
थैंक यू
आप
सो मच।
वैसे भी आप आगे बाकी लोगों को प्रेरित करें, जो भी है। मैं इंग्लिश ही इतना बोल पाती हूँ,
कोई बात
जितना
नहीं।
भी बोलिए आप समझोगे।
हाँ
थैंक
बिल्कुल,
यू
थैंक यू सो
सर।
कोई
मच।
बात नहीं। बहुत बहुत
थैंक
शुक्रिया
मैम।
आपका। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया
Thank you
आपका।
very much. All right, Ayush, please go ahead, and then I'll take you.
नमस्ते आप सभी को।
आवाज नहीं आ रही आयुष, क्लियर
नमस्ते आयुष
आवाज आ
जी।
रही है? आवाज आ रही है?
थोड़ी कम आ रही है आवाज।
देखो
हेलो?
मजा अंदर के लोग, हम बात भी करते हैं, देखा
हेलो?
कहाँ तो चल पाएंगे ना, क्या है इसमें?
आवाज आ रही है?
आयुष
हेलो?
बोलो।
या
आयुष डिस्कनेक्ट करके वापस आओ, I think फिर शायद आवाज clear होगी, and I'll take you. ठीक है?
We have Girja Deshpande as well.
Yes, Girija ji is here. Namaste, Girija ji, once again.
Namaste,
Please,
Girja ji.
you are mute, Girija ji.
I was listening to you and I felt like there is a lioness in front of me talking for so many women oppressed throughout the world and people who are complaining about situations in India cannot even imagine what people in Iran are going through. It's like my nail is hurting and then I complain about it. But for another person, every part of the body is bruised and he's whimpering. That is the situation. It's totally incomparable what is happening. As you rightly said, all women throughout the world need to get together and stand for the women of Iran. And the saddest part is women who belong to the same community, same religion, some of them do not understand that in the name of religion, they are being oppressed. Or from brightness, they are slowly being pushed into darkness and they are not even realizing it. They have joined the hands of their oppressors. They do not realize the heaven of freedom in which they are living. In India, women are demanding hijab. Now, today you demand hijab, tomorrow your nail polish is taken away, your right to, your strand of hair you cannot show, your shoes cannot be seen, your anklet cannot be seen. It will start like that. It will go to that extreme. So, it is for you to decide what you want to wear, what you don't want to wear, but don't make it taboo.
गिरजा जी मैं माफी चाहती हूँ आपकी आवाज देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम विद द कनेक्शन और मैं सारी बातें सुन नहीं पा रही हूँ आई थिंक वरुण यू आर हैविंग द सेम प्रॉब्लम आई अपोलोजाइज टू कट यू इट्स there is a sort of a disturbance in your audio if you can fix that we'd
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Girija ji वैसे थोड़ी आवाज कम आ रही थी, but अब try again.
आपकी आवाज भी वरुण वैसे ही हो रही है अभी I don't know what
Oh,
the
really?
problem.
I can hear
Maybe-
very well.
I think it's from your connection. I don't really know what it is.
No, I
can
think
hear
I.
Varun very clearly.
Yeah, you can hear me, right? And I can hear you
very
clearly.
Yes.
I think Kainaaz, it's your network.
तो
Maybe.
शायद मेरी तरफ से है
हाँ जी, लग रहा है आपकी तरफ से. So do you want to?
आप लोग नहीं हो मैं culprit हूँ.
Do you want to go out and come back again? Try that. It
I
might
can
help.
do that, yes, please.
Sure.
Because it's very
Why don't
bad.
you-
I can't hear anything.
We
Yes.
can
Sure.
hear you very
Right.
clearly, but you are not able to hear us.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I
let her go out
apologize.
and come
I'll come
back.
right back. Yeah, I'll come right back.
Sure.
It
Right.
was so heart-rending to listen to her. Every situation that she talks about, you cannot go out free, you cannot talk, if you're educated, this is the problem. Every situation, there is no hope wherever you turn. That is what she's showing. So, on the one hand, you feel so angry, you feel like evacuate all the women, let the men live with themselves, then they'll understand what the world is. But then, why should women leave? It is their homeland. They should be free. So, men, I think, whatever nations oppress women, there should be certain yardsticks that should be created, and any country that violates those rules, they will be subjected to certain kind of. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys clearly. My apologies. मेरी तरफ से problem थी and I was the culprit, it looks like.
Uh,
Issue at all.
जी
please go
गिरजा
ahead, Girija ji, please.
I was just suggesting that the parameters of freedom, what is available to a man should be available to a woman. Simple. The right to pursue education, the right to dress as per the as per the dictates of her heart, it should be there for you as long as she is confident that she is going to be safe and secure as per the environment. She should be able to decide. So I think these parameters we should make, and they should be international law, and any country that violates that should go through certain sanctions. we must have an international body that looks after that, that monitors that. If a woman is not able to decide whether she has the right to, whether over her body, whether she wants to have the child or not have a child. So in every area, whether she wants to pursue education, whether she can have her own bank account and operate money. So everywhere, I think we need to determine these things. And any country that does not give these rights should go through certain steps to ensure that they live up to that. Like, for example, in organizations, we say that if you are in a good organization to work with, these are the parameters. So you have certain stars. Similarly, for happy country, there are certain parameters. Similarly, for a nation worth living, there should be some parameters. So then you know that you don't live up to that, and it is going to be your, like, ease of business, ease of living is going to be determined by this. We have got to fight for it. Like you said, united we stand. So we all have to do that, understand each other's pain, where you come from, right? Nobody should be belittled. Okay, I'm going through this pain, so yours is nothing. No.
That is very rightly said, Girjaji. Sorry to interrupt. In Iran, there is no such thing as human rights.
Exactly.
We don't have anything as human rights. In Iran, when a woman voices herself, they will suppress her. And we Iranian women are, I would say, one of the most talented women in the world. And we are capable of a lot of things. But for us, like for my profession, if I am an actress, I am considered as a disgrace to the country. If I do not go in hijab, I am supposed to be executed. If I change my religion, then I am sure I'll be stoned to death. I will literally be stoned to death. Why? Because I am supposed to be only a Muslim. If I was born a Muslim, I have to only be a Muslim. I have no right. Now, if I want to convert if let's say, for example, I'm a Christian and I want to convert into Islam, this is what the Islamic Republic of Iran is actually saying, that if an Iranian woman is a Christian, or if from an outside, if she's is a Christian or whatever religion, if they change into Islam, that's a very good thing. But if an Iranian woman is Muslim and she converts herself into any other religion, then she has to be executed and stoned to death. ये कहाँ का इंसाफ है ये चाची? कौन से देश में आपने आज तक ये सुना है कि किसी औरत के साथ, यहाँ तक कि हम लोग अफगानिस्तान में, मैंने एक फिल्म की थी Escape from Taliban, which became a very it made a noise for that thing. Even in Afghanistan, those Talibans, they were not as ruthless as our country. Now they call it the Talibanization. That's what they call it in Iran. They've literally made that name. आप जहां भी जाएंगे, किसी देश में भी जाएंगे, इस तरीके का जुल्म नहीं होता है औरतों के साथ. I've never seen something like that.
What I want to know is, from here, what next? Protesting is one thing. What are the plans to bring women together in Iran and collaborate with women of the world? How do you plan to go ahead with it and get your rights? You have to grab your rights. Nobody is going to come and give you. So how you have gone in the right direction, come out of your shackles and taken the huge risk, and now the whole world is looking up to you. This is the right time to garner support and go ahead. So what are your plans there?
Well, all we can do, Aajakia, is voice ourselves, fight against these mullahs. In 2009, there was a protest. It died out. In 2019, there was a protest. It died out. We voiced ourselves like that. We went out on the streets. I mean, not just me, as women, because I'm not in Iran. The women went onto the streets. They burned their scarves. They did the same thing they did but so many innocent lives were taken. They were brutally killed, tortured, raped, shot, dead, physically tortured, and nothing happened in 2009 and in 2019. But this time, it looks like that things are going to be better. And I am literally begging every possible soul in the world, not just women, but every possible soul in the world to stand united, just like Canada, just like America, just like Israel. They say Israel is our enemy. What enemy are you talking? You are your own enemy. You're your own people's enemy. They call these people enemies. They're all standing united for us. But we want to raise our voice and we want to spread the word more and more so that this literally comes to an end and the Ayatollahs get out of our country. That's the most we can do. And I want to thank you for coming and being a part of this and supporting us. We really need your help. We need your support in every manner possible so that we Iranian women get our own rights. Our body, our choice. I am a Mahsa Amini. All those millions of women are Mahsa Aminis. We don't want the same thing to happen that happened to Mahsa Amini and made it look like she had a natural death. Yes, they did say that. I did see that expression of yours right now. Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old girl, was brutally killed to death, but they made it look like that she got a heart attack. And they said to the world that she died of a heart attack, which was an absolute lie.
Yeah. And there were reports that, she had broken bones and broken, very, very brutally killed.
Yes.
Still, they wanted to undermine the whole thing and made it like a natural death. But you're absolutely right, Kainaaz. Another thing which is very evident is, it's making a lot of noise right now. The previous ones might have died out, but right now it's going pretty strong. So hope, we get some, good outcome out of that.
Another difference, Varun, if I may say that earlier
Sure.
social media was not so strong. Now we are all connected.
Very true, Girjaji. You've said that's a very important point. But yes, in 2009 and 2019, we still did have social media. But the thing was that the youngsters and the people of Iran were still afraid because so many of, as I was just saying to Varun, there is a cemetery. I think Iran has by far one of the biggest cemeteries in the world, which is called the Behisht Zahra, which means Zahra, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, in her name. And Behisht means heaven, paradise. And you have all those innocent souls buried in that place. It's by far one of the biggest cemeteries in the world. And they call it the Behisht Zahra. So because of all these things, people were afraid. They couldn't, they went to a certain extent and then they stopped. But now the youngsters, after 43 years, have had enough. And if the world voices themselves along with us, I'm sure these mullahs will be on their way out.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'll quickly hear two more guests who are here, and then we'll kind of try to wrap it up also because of the time. But we'll come back to you, Girija ji, as well. Simi ji, आप कुछ कहना चाहती हैं? Please go ahead.
Hi, Mahadev. Yes. Just a couple of things. One, too sad to hear what all is going on in Iran. Two, I had a wonderful friend. I'm not in touch with this wonderful person, but he had a dual passport and he could not go back to his country. He was afraid. And we're going back a few years now. Talking about Iran, not similar, but can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So a few things have happened in India where two of these wonderful ladies related to me, and like I said, I can't name them or tell you guys who they are. They were miserable. They were living with these two guys, with their husbands, who did what they want, when they want, where they want, women and etc. outside the marriage. And it was so sad to see them, but these ladies did not want to get out of the marriage. They could have gotten a divorce, but one, society would not accept that. and two, according to them, how would they survive? Because now they were educated, but they didn't have like a Burger King where they could work and have a studio apartment and take care of themselves. So sad that I saw all this, but the good news is, and sorry to say, when they expired, these ladies, I could see peace on their face. Not that they're happy that their husbands died, but they had a life of their own. They could peacefully take care of the children and grandchildren. Previously, they were miserable, and this is like in Hyderabad and Aurangabad. So we're talking about places where things were really tough for women who could not get out of marriage for many reasons, and they suffered. So sorry to hear all those things that you had said, and we are all with you. Whatever we can do, we will support. Even if there are words through a channel. And thank you, Varun, for bringing this wonderful lady and letting us know. Thanks again. And
Thank you.
Thank you, Simiji. Appreciate that. Ayush, let's try if we can hear you now. Alright, Ayush is, I think, having issues. ज्योति आप वापस आई हैं, अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहती हैं तो प्लीज go ahead.
यस सर, मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ मैम, ऐसा है कि ये जो बड़े बड़े मौलाना है, ये चाहते हैं कि सारे जो लोग हैं उनके कंट्रोल में रहे, और लड़कियां तो खास तौर से ये चाहते हैं कि लड़कियां कुछ बोल ही ना सके, जो हमने कह दिया मतलब वो पत्थर की लकीर हो गई है उनके लिए। वो अभी भी ये चाहते हैं, जो पढ़ लिख रहे हैं वो नॉलेज, उन लोगों ने समझ लिया है कि क्या हो रहा है हमारे साथ, हमको क्या किया जा रहा है, तो वो ये डाइजेस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे। जो ईरान में हो रहा है ना, ये लोग देखो वहाँ ईरान में ये जो हो रहा है उसको लोग यहाँ पे ऐसे वे में बताएंगे कि अरे ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ लोग प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, ऐसा वहाँ पे कोई किसी को कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कुछ है जो मतलब ये मानते नहीं है वो कर रहे हैं। ये लोग हमारे इधर ऐसा फैलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, जबकि वहाँ वो लोग बहुत परेशान है। और यहाँ पे भी यहाँ की लड़कियों को बस, जबकि मैम पहले हमारे इधर ऐसा नहीं होता था कि कोई लड़कियां हिजाब वेयर करके आती थी कॉलेज में, या हम लोग पहले ऐसे, लेकिन अभी कुछ लोगों ने ऐसा थोपने शुरू कर दिया है लड़कियों के, और हिंदुओं से ऐसी चिढ़ दिलवा दी है इनको कि वो बात भी नहीं करना चाहते मैम अच्छे से। यदि हम अच्छे से बात करना चाहे, आप जैसे मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, मैं अपने दिल की बात शेयर कर रही हूँ, आपसे मैं पूछ सकती हूँ, लेकिन वो नहीं करना चाहते, वो अपनी मन की बात भी नहीं बोलना चाहते। और वो जो मेरी फ्रेंड है मैम, वो पहले कभी हिजाब नहीं पहनती थी, आज वो हिजाब में घूम रही है। मैं शॉक्ड होती हूँ मैम उनको देख के, मतलब ये क्या हो रहा है, पहले तो आप ऐसे नहीं थे। और ये लोग ये भी नहीं देख रहे कि वहाँ हमारी कम्युनिटी के लोग कितने परेशान हो रहे हैं, और यहाँ पे लागू करना चाहते हैं ये लोग चाहते हैं कि यहाँ पे भी हम लोग ऐसे ही करें। ये आपस में कट मर जाएंगे, लेकिन इनको कोई बुरा नहीं कह सकता, और ये अपनी उसके खिलाफ नहीं खड़े हो सकते। जो चीज गलत है तो गलत है, इन लोग ये नहीं बोल सकते। जैसे आप बोल रहे हो ना जी, आप बोल रहे हो ना कि ये गलत है, आप बोल सकते, लेकिन बाकी लोग आपको बोलेंगे तुम मत बोलो प्लीज, और आपको ऐसा प्रिटेंड करेंगे ये इस्लाम से दूर है, इसको इस्लाम के बारे में नहीं पता है, ये कुछ नहीं जानती, ये बरगला रही है आपको। आप लड़कियों को जबरन ये फालतू चीजों में ढकेलना चाहती है, वो आपको ऐसा प्रिटेंड करके उन लड़कियों के सामने पेश करेंगे।
जैसे मैंने ज्योति जी मैंने जो कहा पहले भी कि ये बात सिर्फ इस्लाम की नहीं है, ये बात ऑप्रेशन की है, ये बात जबरदस्ती की है। जिसे जैसे चाहे वो ड्रेस कर सकती हैं, अगर उसे हिजाब पहनना है तो वो बेशक पहन ले, अगर वो नहीं पहनना चाहती है तो उसे कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं कर सकता है। लेकिन हमारे देश में जो ईरान में ऐसा है कि जबरदस्ती है, अगर आप हिजाब नहीं पहनते हैं तो आपसे जबरदस्ती किया जाता है, आपको मारा जाता है, आपको रेप किया जाता है। और यहाँ तक कि हमारे जो जितने मुल्लाज हैं, आयतुल्लाज हैं, जैसे खौमेनी हैं, जैसे मैंने इरवानी का किया है, इनकी बेटियां सारे विदेश में बिना हिजाब के स्किम्पी क्लोथ्स में घूम रहे हैं, मौज मस्ती कर रहे हैं, नाइट क्लब्स जा रहे हैं, अल्कोहल पी रहे हैं, ड्रग्स ले रहे हैं, और वो खुद हमारे देश में बैठे हम लोगों पर ठोस जमा रहे हैं, हम पर जबरदस्ती कर रहे हैं, और हमें बोल रहे हैं कि अगर तुम लोगों ने हिजाब नहीं पहना तो यू विल गेट 74 लैशेस, तुम्हें मार दिया जाएगा। जिस तरह से महसा अमीनी को, हदीस को और इतने सारे लड़कियों को, और अब भी कर रहे हैं। तो ये बात
Yes.
इस्लाम की नहीं है. We're not against Islam. We're not against any religion. We are against the oppression of the regime of the so-called Islamic Republic of Iran.
यस मैम, ये जो हमारे हैदराबाद के साहब हैं, क्या नाम है उनका, जो भी है आप जानते हो उनको, ठीक है, ये इनके बच्चे बाहर पढ़ते हैं, ठीक है, इनका बच्चा अमेरिका में पढ़ता है, लेकिन ये चाहते हैं कि जो मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी है वो मदरसे में जाके पढ़े, वो अच्छा एजुकेशन ना पाए, लड़कियां जाए हिजाब में बैठे और हिजाब
Yeah.
बैठ के बस उनको कुछ ना। मैम आप जाके देखिए, आपके हमारे इधर सर्वे हो रहे हैं, उनसे राष्ट्रपति और प्रधानमंत्री नहीं पता मैम।
ज्योति 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 एक तो पहले आपकी आवाज, ज्योति एक मिनट, आपकी थोड़ी सी आवाज भी हो रही है, प्लस आई थिंक हम थोड़ा दो टॉपिक्स को मिक्स कर रहे हैं। ये वाले टॉपिक पे मैं एक अलग सेशन करूंगा बहुत जल्दी, जो हमारी खुद की कंट्री में, इंडिया में हो रहा है। टुडे इट्स ऑल अबाउट महसा अमीनी, ईरान की सिचुएशन और उसके बारे में। सो आज हम उसके बारे में थोड़ा ज्यादा करेंगे, और ऑब्वियसली कीपिंग इन माइंड कि 1.5 घंटा होने वाला है। आई थिंक आपका पॉइंट गलत नहीं है, बट आई थिंक होल्ड ऑफ योर थॉट्स, अपने ये थॉट्स को संभाल के रखें अगले सेशन के लिए, जहां पर हम इसके बारे में भी बात करेंगे। विल टॉक अबाउट हिजाब एंड अदर इश्यूज रिलेटेड टू हिजाब, बट आज हम वी आर डूइंग अ लिटिल समथिंग फॉर रेजिंग वॉइस अराउंड महसा अमीनी, तो इसलिए मैं चाहूंगा कि हम उस पर थोड़ा रहें। सो थैंक यू फॉर रेजिंग योर वॉइस।
लग रहे थे, बहुत अच्छे लग रहे थे, इसलिए मैं दोबारा कनेक्ट हुई। मैम आप
बहुत शुक्रिया आपका ज्योति। आई ट्रूली अप्रिशिएट कि आप इस मंच पे और हमको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। आई एम वेरी वेरी ग्रेटफुल टू यू।
थैंक यू
मैम। आप जैसे अच्छे लोगों की वजह से तो है हम लोग आपस में बात कर रहे हैं, अच्छे से रह रहे हैं। यदि आप जैसे लोग ना हो तो आपस में कब के लड़के मर जाएंगे हम।
All right. A lot of people. Yeah, sorry. Kainaaz, I think a lot of people are also asking, how can they connect with you? Like they want to connect with you after this as well, and they want to kind of continue listening to your thoughts, your views. How do
Yes,
they do that?
Absolutely. I do have a Facebook page and an Instagram page in the name of Kainaaz Pervez. If they just go on to Instagram and Facebook, I am with the same name, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions. I also have a YouTube channel again in the name of Kainaaz Pervez, and you can. In fact, I must tell you that my Guruji gave me a name called Mrinalini Das. That was my Guruji's name, as it's Bharatwaj Gotra, and that is one thing that is totally against the Islamic Republic of Iran. अगर उन लोगों ने ये सुन लिया तो that's a sure shot execution. लेकिन I don't care. और मैं I will tell you my YouTube is in the name of Mrinalini Das, but it does have Kainaaz Pervez as well. So अगर आप कहीं भी मेरे साथ जुड़ना चाहते हैं, as I said, I have Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. आप मेरे साथ कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your queries.
All right. Thank you again.
मैम आपके साथ कनेक्ट करने की मैं आपको पहली बार देखा है मैम, पहली बार मैंने आप और मैं कंटिन्यू आपको सुन रही मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है वाह यार, इतना क्लियर थॉट्स हो सकते हैं लोगों के।
मैं फटाफट आयुष को भी लूंगा because I really want to be mindful of her time as well.
Thank you sir, sorry
no problem,
ज्यादा टाइम thank you।
अरे नहीं कोई बात नहीं, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके। थैंक यू सो मच ज्योति, एंड यस आयुष, लेट्स ट्राई, लेट्स गिव इट अ
सबको थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग।
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू। जय हिंद। हाँ जी आयुष, लेट्स ट्राई।
नमस्ते सभी को।
नमस्ते।
बहुत ही दर्दनाक वीडियो सुना, और दर्दनाक सिचुएशन जिस तरह से अमीनी जी के साथ हुआ है। मतलब ऐसे लोग जो कहते हैं ना ऑटोक्रेटिक टाइप के लोग होते हैं, वो सिर्फ अपनी मर्जियां थोप सकते हैं। उसमें वो अब क्या कर सकते हैं कि उसमें अगर आप बोलते हैं तो उल्टा आप ही का नुकसान है। और हैट्स ऑफ टू मैम कि आपने ऐसे लोगों को मुंह तोड़ जवाब देने के लिए खड़ी हुई है, वरना आप कोई और होता तो शायद हिम्मत हार जाता।
हम तो आवाज उठाएंगे, लड़ेंगे, जब तक सांस है हम तब तक लड़ेंगे, जितना हो सके हमसे हम करेंगे। मैं तो सिर्फ एक ही जान हूँ, इतने सारे औरतें पूरी दुनिया में जो इतने जुल्म सितम से गुजर रहे हैं। आई होप टू गॉड कि हमारी आवाज उन जालिम लोगों तक पहुंचे और दे गेट सम काइंड ऑफ यू नो लेसन फ्रॉम दिस, और हम जीत जाए।
जीतेंगे, डेफिनेटली जीतेंगे. Thank you, Ayush. And all right, before I wrap it up, Girjaji, any last comments, anything before I let Kainaaz leave us all with a message? You're mute. You're mute.
There is an organization called Women Wage Peace. That is, you may be aware of it. During the Israel-Palestine war, they wanted to involve women so that they really get solutions, because it is the women who are affected more whenever there is a war. So there is a person called Tamanna Dahiya. She has been doing research and she has been working with these people. In fact, last year also we had a sort of a summit where we had peace conclave. So again, we are planning to have that in 2023 January, where the sustainable development goals of the United Nations, one of them is peace. Without peace, no prosperity can ever be achieved anywhere in the world. And when we talk about peace, peace is where there is no oppression. Then only peace is possible, right? So I would like to invite you as a speaker to share the issues that women are facing in Iran. And we will be able to come across several organizations there, and even Chief Justice of India. So many people holding very high positions will be there. So we will be able to arrive at certain breakthrough solutions. Because please keep the movement alive in the Twitter, in through the social media. Keep connecting to people, as many as possible. I will connect with you, and I will connect Tamanna here also, and we can see how through this movement we can whip up more support from men and women throughout the world, and see that people who can do something about this, they look at what is happening in Iran, and the despots should be taught a lesson.
Most definitely, I'll be more than happy to be a part of it. Whatever is from my side, I would definitely want to be active, and will do all I can to voice myself. If I can be of any help, I'll be more than happy to. I also have a Twitter account in the same name of Kainaaz Pervez. So if anything at all, I will be more than happy to voice myself.
Thank you.
Wonderful. That's the best thing that I think I'll take away from this session as well, other than hearing the real story, hearing the real plight of the women there in Iran, and even outside, right? जैसे आपने बोला, even outside रहते हुए भी people feel scared, people feel like कुछ भी हो सकता है with anybody, and that's not the world we want to live in. We want to live in with, like अभी गिरिजा जी ने जैसे बोला कि peace तभी होगी जब oppression नहीं होगा. So that's the kind of world we want to live in, oppression free, where everybody has the right to do the right thing their own way, not in a way that another person, specifically a man, will tell you to do. That's not how we've been conceived. That's not how we've been brought up, and should not be the way that our children look at it. Okay, this is how our mothers, our grandmothers were kind of raised, and they were like living in such a society, and we also have to follow the same. No, that's not how it is. And it cannot be the other way around as well, that anybody becomes Mahsa Amini and tries to change, and they are executed, they are terminated, they're killed, they're murdered brutally. So we want to be in a world where everybody can live, breathe, and sustain in the way that everybody feels happy, content. So, Kainaaz, on that note, anything message that you would love to leave with all of us today?
I'd like to say this, Varun. I am Mahsa Amini. Man Mahsa Amini hastam. Main hu Mahsa Amini. let's all unite together, all the women and all the people in the world, get together, unite, so that there will not be another Mahsa Amini who is killed brutally to death. And hopefully the mullahs, the ayatollahs, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the regime, completely is demolished, taken away, and we women, we Iranians, get our freedom and have the right to speech, choice, expression, and stand for our own selves and be able to be like every other person out there and be free to do what we want to do. My choice, my body, my way, my freedom. Thank you.
Very well said. And on that note itself, I'm going to end this session. Thank you once again, Kainaaz, for being so vocal, being so honest, being so candid. Thank you so much, Arif Bhai. I know, with the limited time you had, you still joined. And I'm sure you will continue to raise the voice for everyone around the world. So to both of you and to everyone who joined, Girijaji, Ayush, and all the other guests, uh, especially I again mentioned Jyoti's name because I think moments like these, she brought a little smile, a little cheer, a little fan moment as well. But at the same time, she's standing here for the right thing. She might not know who Mahsa Amini was. She might not know कि Iran में क्या चल रहा है. She's comparing those things with her local, her surrounding environment, which is the best thing that we can do is look for opportunities, look for issues around you. And if you start fixing those, eventually it will become a happier, a very safe world. So thank you again, एक बार फिर से Jyoti, and don't feel कि you took a lot of time. You took the right amount of time to bring that awareness. You did bring a little bit of cheer as well in this sad and this heinous thing that we are talking about. But at the same time, thank you to all of you who stayed here till the very end and heard what Kainaaz had to say, because she's not here for raising something new. This has been going on for a very long time, but it's a matter of time now that we start acting on it. So thank you once again, Kainaaz. Thank you for raising
Thank you.
this.
And I would like to say, end this note, is that thank you very much for all my friends who came on this platform. My friends, which I've seen on screen, Falguni, and so many others who've come and joined this place. Thank you so very much. I appreciate this. And thank you, Varun. Thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity to voice myself. You have always been an amazing soul, bringing out this word to people around the world. God bless you, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you again very soon. We will see you, raise your voice again, and like Girijaji mentioned, I'm really looking forward to the next, big opportunity and to bring this topic to a bigger, platform as well. So
anytime, I will be more than happy to be a part of your platform. Thank you very much, Varun.
Yes. Thank you so much, and thank you, Girijaji. Everyone, take care. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
My heart bleeds. 43 years of torture, suffering, imposition, dictatorship, tyranny, and it's still ongoing. Wake up, world. Be her voice. Tomorrow it could be your sister, your wife, your mother, or even you. Don't let them do this. The Islamic Republic of Iran has brought us Persians to shame and deprived us of our roots and our freedom. This is not who we were. This is not who we are. We're not Iranians. We're Persians. Mahsa Amini. A 22-year-old innocent soul beaten brutally to death for not following the norms of the hijab of the Islamic Republic of Iran by the so-called morality police. Whoever gave them that name, they don't know a thing about morals. Would really like to know how they would feel if their sisters, mothers, wives, or loved ones would have been beaten and tortured to death, just like the way they killed and tortured Mahsa Amini. And lied about her having a heart issue. How many innocent souls have you killed? How many more are you going to kill? Get the fuck out of our country, you nasty parasites. You're not needed. You're not welcome. We don't want you. How much more of torture, tyranny, imposition, dictatorship are you going to continue giving us? Go away. We don't want you. Markibar Ahund Chasif. Down with dictatorship. It's time for us to voice ourselves. Tell the world that we women need our freedom. To be respected. To be handled with care. Not beaten. Not tortured. Not killed. We are Persian women. We are Persia. We're not the Islamic Republic of Iran. We are not Iran. Leave us alone. Get the fuck out of our country.